Okay, so now we're going to do our third practice problem. In 2012, Bruno Mars earned 1.5 times 10 to the 7th. That same year, Taylor Swift earned 3.57 times 10 to the 8th. How much money did these two artists earn in total? So we're identifying our scientific notations that we're going to use. And in the question, how much money did these two artists earn in total, our keyword is total. Now, total is usually pretty easy, and most people, most students remember what this word means. But if you don't, we're going to go back to where we wrote down all of our keywords. And total is right here under addition. So I'm going to go back to my problem, and let's set it up. So I have 1.5 times 10 to the 7th power. I want to add to that 3.57 times 10 to the 8th power. Now remember our rules for adding with scientific notation. We need to ask ourselves if the exponents are the same. And because they're not, I want to make the smaller one turn into the larger one. So I'm going to turn the 7 into an 8 by adding 1. And when I do that, I'm going to increase by one place value here. So this is really 0.15 times 10 to the 8th power plus 3.57 times 10 to the 8th power. Now, because the exponents match, we are simply going to add our first factor, and your answer would be 3.72 times 10 to the 8th power. Now, because this is a word problem, we are going to answer it a little bit better than that. The question was, how much money did these two artists earn in total? So, let me work on my spacing here. These artists earned this much in total. Let me zoom out for you a little bit. And clearly I was a little off with my spacing there, but I think you get the idea. So we should probably do one more. And let's look at our next problem. So it says the distance between Memphis and San Francisco is 1.2 times 10 to the 3rd miles. The distance between Memphis and Nashville is 2.5 times 10 to the 2nd. How much further is San Francisco than Nashville from Memphis? Okay, so we have our scientific notation here. And I want to identify my keyword. So it says, how much further is San Francisco than Nashville from Memphis? And how much further is what we'll need to look for. So we're going to go back and let's see if we can find it. So how much further is right here under subtraction. So I know that I'm going to subtract. Let's go ahead and set this up. So if I want to know how much further San Francisco is than Nashville from Memphis, the way that the problem is written, San Francisco is listed first. So we are going to use the 1.2 times 10 to the 3rd, and we're going to subtract 2.5 times 10 to the 2nd power. Okay, with adding and subtracting, we always look at our exponents, and because they don't match, I'm going to bring this smaller one to the larger. So 2 plus 1 gives you that 3 exponent that we're looking for, and because I'm adding a space, I'm going to add a space right here. So this is 1.2 times 10 to the third minus 0.25 times 10 to the third. Look at that exponent again because they are the same. We are going to subtract our first factor. And when you do that, 1.2 minus 0.25, you would get 0.95. And this is times 10 to the third power. Well, now you have to ask yourself about this 0.95 because this is not between 1 and 10. I still need to convert. This is rare where we have to do this, but we're going to do this right now. So this is where my decimal is. And what I need to do is I need to subtract a space. So to do that, I now have 9.5 times 10 to the second power. And of course, we're talking about distance here, so this is going to be in miles. And this is the last problem that I am going to talk you through. So please go and complete the rest of the problems in this packet. You want to really focus on identifying those keywords today. Hopefully you feel pretty comfortable with the solving part. Once you are done translating all of your the rest of those problems, there aren't that many, then you can ask for the scientific notation reviews to get ready for your test next Wednesday.